Hey everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video and got a couple things to cover tonight. One was CMG, simply because I had a lot of questions about this. Just how do you play this kind of a stock? You know, were we already in it? That kind of stuff. And on something like this is always like the unexpected move. And if you're not already in it, the question is how do you get in it then? Have you missed it? And there's actually a pretty reasonable way to play these kind of moves. So this is what I like to look at. So we've popped up here, right? And so if you're not in it, there's no way you would have known. If you're in it, congratulations, right? But then what do you do? And this is actually pretty common. We get this kind of a movement, and if you actually drill down a little bit further and look at a 5-minute chart, think of the psychological things that are going on here. Okay, so you get something like this. We pop up and people are kind of waiting, and then it starts to run away. It makes new highs. And then so people will load up and kind of chase. And then there's one more little bit of a high and people just kind of load the boat, frustrated that they're missing the move. And then you got this gentle sell off into the close. Now it wasn't horrible, but we went from a high of, 420 down to 414-ish into the close, and that's actually pretty decent loss for anybody who bought the highs. And so what I look at this is from a pure psychological point is that there's a lot of people that bought up here that are going to be nervous, and the markets are very, very good about chasing liquidity. Now, what's going to cause the most liquidity in the morning? A gap down. These people would panic. They're going to have to sell, and then there'll be some new buyers coming in, so there'll be a flurry of activity. All this being said is that if tomorrow we rip to the downside, I am going to be a buyer. Okay, so that's a specific play that we will be looking for tomorrow. All right, so now what about the S&Ps? So the S&Ps right now, the markets in general, you can see from a daily perspective, it's not, we're just consolidating. This is what happens after a big move. It's got to catch its breath. In fact, it's very bullish that the market, instead of pulling back to the mean, is trading sideways while the mean, i.e. the 21-period moving average, comes back up to it. That does set us up for the next potential move higher. What's interesting, though, right now is that also there's two things that are coming up that that we have to take into consideration. One is earnings. Okay, how is the market going to react to earnings? And then two is correlations. All right, so what does that play into this? So what's moving the markets right now, and this is one of those things that it's kind of hidden because it's not really easy to spot, are the main correlations. So here are, for example, this is a chart, daily chart of the S&P 500 as it relates to oil versus the yen versus gold versus bonds versus the dollar, right? And those are 5 of the major, but not all of the correlations that are involved here. And what we're looking for right now is that when bonds and oil turn up, guess what? The stock market goes too, okay? And if you got to and the correlations will kind of change, but you've got to, that's what's moving the markets right now, okay? It's like we can look at squeezes and things like that, but we've got to understand the correlations. So what we've done with this is making this correlation into what I would just call a heads up tool. Okay, so here's all those same markets now. Here's the S&Ps, and you can see that when the correlations all trade together, the market trades sideways. But when one of the correlations makes a run for it, okay, this is a 30-minute chart, and then you can see, 1, 2, that's 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hours later, then the S&Ps drop. Okay, so what's been happening in this market and is continuing to happen is when one correlation falls out of favor, and it takes a little while for the market to kind of catch up, the other ones follow suit. So we've got to know what's going on, and this has been incredibly helpful, especially in this market. So I'm going to be doing a class on this. Now, most of you have probably already seen the webinar that I've done, or if you haven't, now you've got at least a heads up. This is going to be a great class, because this is a tool that can make or break the entire year. You're going to have a heads up as to what's going on once you understand the correlations and you have this tool. So I'm going to be doing a class on Saturday. The class is just $497, and it includes that indicator I just showed you. Okay, it includes that indicator I just showed you, and then I'm going to go through and set up specific setups on how to find these trades and then how to take these trades using options. Now the good news is if you're a full-time trader, that's great. This is something you can do intraday, but if you work part-time and your thing is not to sit in front of the computer all day, that's fine too, because this works for swing and position trading, where you just need like 15 minutes a night, review the charts, and then set it up and go. Okay, so this is coming up Saturday. This upcoming Saturday, January 14th, from 12 to 4 p.m. Central. And then from there, just so you guys know, is if you're brand new to options and you don't understand options, you didn't even know an option existed, we're going to have a bonus class starting at 10 a.m. Okay, so you can actually learn what options are and how they work, so you won't feel lost out. So highly recommend this. If you're not available Saturday, it will be recorded. Now from there, if you guys want to dive in even more, there's a professional package. This also includes 3 days of live trading. Okay, so for this, it's $9.97. It includes the Saturday class. It includes this indicator plus 2 additional ones. This is typically our most popular one, because the idea with this is that we set up enough trades, high quality trades during the class, to pay for the class. Okay, now obviously if you work full time, that's a tougher option. However, you still get additional indicators included in that, so it's a really good value. Plus, it'll be recorded and you can go back and watch those trades in action. Some of them will be swing trades. For those of you that like to do what we call our live mentorship package, we are going to do another live event this year, June 12th and 13th in Austin. If you do like to do that, then all of this is included, okay? So anyway, hopefully that helps. If you're new to all this and you're not really sure, like, wow, this looks interesting, I don't know what to do, make it easier on yourself. Just do this. You will get a lot of value out of this, I promise, and we will spend some quality time together this Saturday, okay? simplertrading.com/SPY. These are the early bird prices if you're seeing this, and if you want to do it, I encourage you to sign up before the price goes up. All right, you guys have a fantastic night, and we'll see you at the next update.